Hello, everyone. Hello. It's me, Arnold. Ironic, really, isn't it? The alcoholic lives off ginger beer. Sorry, recovering alcoholic. And then now I've got to do my medication, so I can start talking about what I wanted to today. So, yeah, the past. It got pretty bad. As I said before in the last video, I repeatedly got myself sent to the hospital. The first time really was quite weird. We'd decided to go out and stay at a hotel, go on a nice drive, and stayed in this hotel, had dinner, had a few drinks. Obviously, this is when I'm still drinking. All seemed fine. And then in the morning, I woke up, and of course, yes, I was drinking straight away in the morning. But my anxiety was kicking in, this was more panic attack anxiety. So I kept running from our room, well, not literally running, but walking quickly from our room down to outside to go and smoke, back upstairs, then back down, then back up. And then I'm trying to get focused. And, oh, yeah. This is my anxiety medication. That's that one done. This is thiamine. I was given this whilst I was taking the detox or the anti-withdrawal medication. So I'm still just taking it just while I finish it off. I've got a few more of these left. And then also I've got one more thing to put in here, which is my anxiety. No, I've done my anxiety. No. Anxiety, thiamine, and vitamins, which I was told to take because I wasn't eating properly. But I'm eating now. I can't stop eating. I'm a bit of a fat pig really now. But it's just out of habit. I'm just going to take these until I finish them. It seems like a good habit. Take some vitamins. Whilst I'm still getting into the habit and the routine of eating properly. I mean, I eat every day, 3 meals a day. A lot of vegetables. Eat pretty healthy, so that's pretty good. So yeah, I was struggling. Kept running back up and down the stairs, and then I thought, all right, I'll put some music on to try and calm myself down. And sort of listening to music, but I could hear the song playing in my head. But then it was as if I had already heard it about 5 seconds earlier. There was a line of a song that I was listening to. I was like, wait a minute, I just had this. And it's just kept going on, like loads of really weird deja vu. Then it started to get a bit more strange. Like, because I'm panicking, I'm like trying to talk direct to my wife, like this, trying to talk like I'm trying, and all this stuff. But then it got to the point where I'm talking like this, where I'm I can see her, but I'm looking straight past her and I'm looking out of this window. And I'm having a full conversation with her like this. I'm looking out the window and all I'm thinking is, I'm going to end up jumping out of that window today. And it was really, really weird. I don't really know why it was like that. I'm not sure. Very strange. And yeah, panicking, going up and down, smoking, drinking, mid-panic attack, deciding that for some reason my beer was the problem. So then getting rid of that and starting another one. For some reason I thought that was going to work. And then Then it started to get really, really weird. I was panicking, shaking, sweating, being sick, having the shits. So yeah, all this stuff was going on, and then finally, the only time it stopped was when sort of I just pinned my wife down on the bed, pushing down on her shoulders, and just started yelling or chanting, "In Lord Jesus Christ's name, I cast this demon out of myself." And as far as I know, I sort of just collapsed, rolled over, and passed out. And then the next thing I know, I woke up and there was paramedics holding my arm and doing all sorts. So, yeah, I don't really know what happened. Then was in the hospital. Then was in the ambulance on the way to the hospital, and this was around about after lockdown, but things were still strict. They're still like no contact and safe zones and all this stuff. So my wife was told, yeah, you can be with him, but you can only go to the coffee shop area. You can't go inside. So then I'm lying in the bed in the hospital, and all of a sudden this man's appeared next to me, sitting on a chair at the side of my bed. I don't know who he is. And then someone's come over with a little sort of pill cap thing and said, you need to take these. Now, I know I'm in hospital, but I'm completely spaced out. You know, I'm still in a weird trance and I'm feeling like I just collapsed after apparently casting some demon out of myself. So now I'm in a hospital bed with a strange man next to me, and some random person just walked up to me and given me some pills. So I'm like, what? And then one of the nurses come over and she's going, come on, you need to take your pills. I'm like, no, I don't know what this is. I don't think so. I think I want to speak to my wife before I take any of these. And then they started going, what do you mean your wife? Your wife's not here. What? Yeah, I was in the ambulance with her. They said she's not allowed in. There's a safe zone. And are you sure you came with your wife? Are you sure she's here? Are you sure you're still not like hallucinating or imagining? So then completely I've just started spiraling, panicking, shaking. Like even now, it's making me feel sick just thinking about it. So I managed to get my phone, and then like my hands are all trembly, and I'm trying to tap in and call her. And I phoned her, and I'm like, well, where are you? I'm in the coffee shop waiting for you. Oh, well, can you come in? Because they're telling me you're not here, and I'm imagining. And yeah, so she came in. I took the medication. I mean, that was the first time I really hospitalised myself. Then there was the next time. That was a little bit more convenient. I was at home. So, yeah, I was at home. I'm on the computer, which is in our living room, in the corner, with a desk, and the wife's on the sofa. So we're still in the same room, just doing things. And I can feel something brush against my leg. Oh, it's worth noting at this point, I have a cat, so this is where this is going. So I felt the cat, and then looked down, there's nothing there. And then a few minutes passed, I hear a little bell. And I just said, oh, I hear the cat's bell. And then the wife's like, oh, that's strange. The cat hasn't had a bell since he was a kitten, he keeps losing. I'm like, oh yeah. So I thought nothing of it. And then I've started to realise I can hear this bell again. And then I felt something brush against my leg. And I've looked down and I can see something. It's like a really blurred little kitten cat, like really grainy. Like really bad old 80s VHS grainy videotape footage of my cat just walking around. Walking up to the door in the corner. And then walking through the door. And that's when I was like, and then I'm like, oh, this is a bit weird. This goes on for about an hour, hour and a half. And so the wife, oh, I don't know why, but apparently our little cat's here as a kitten, having some little hallucinations. And for some reason it didn't really register like what was going on. Because at the same time I'd been having some pain in my stomach. And so I couldn't drink as much as I normally was, which turns out I was having obviously full-blown hallucinations, which was withdrawal from the alcohol. These pains weren't allowing me to drink as much as I normally do. So I was cutting down alcohol unintentionally through pain, but at an alarming rate. So this went on for a good 2-3 hours, this fun hallucination with the cat. Just randomly, this little kitten appears. Oh, cool, hello. Then I'm upstairs in the bathroom, on the toilet, sorry, TMI, laying a deuce, and then there's a little pile of washing in the corner on right there, just next to the washing basket. And all of a sudden I can start seeing my wife's face, and then my eyes focus, and then it's not her face, it's her head, only her head. Her severed head. I'm running down the stairs, and I'm like, babe, yeah, you're right, yeah. Ooh. I ran up to her, hugged her, and I said, we need to go to the hospital. I've just seen your head in the clothes. And that was when we realised, we realised something was wrong, but that's when we realised something was really wrong. And as we drove to the hospital, I already thought before we even left the house, I was like, I think I should probably drive in the back, sit in the back while you're driving. Just in case I see something on the road and decide I want to grab the steering wheel. Which is lucky, because whilst we were driving, I didn't grab the steering wheel or anything. But I thought we were going to crash about probably, it's only a 15-20 minute drive to the hospital. I probably thought we were going to crash like 50 times. No word of a lie. And yeah, so we got to the hospital, and straight away they put you on fluids, to flush out the alcohol, and all they're interested in is the alcohol treatment, which I understand. But the whole problem started because I had this pain in my stomach. And whilst they were treating me, they were like, well, it could be your liver or your kidney. This is after the doctors probed my stomach a few times like that. So no, yeah, it could be your liver, could be your kidney. We'll give you a test tomorrow. Okay, that's good. And then, oh, well, yeah, that means tomorrow means you're doing the detox. Like, what? Oh, yeah, you're going to stay now, and we'll keep it like, right, what's going on? And basically, they decided that I had to do detox there and then, and in hindsight, I probably should have done it, but I was still back myself. But at the time, I felt like I've come in with having these really bad hallucinations. I understand it's alcohol, I understand the protocol, but the whole thing only started to hurt these pains in my stomach, which now you've decided is a secondary issue that you're not even going to look at, and you're essentially, I'm probably not explaining it well, but it felt like they were holding my stomach problems hostage to the alcohol problem. And we'll only look at your stomach if you stay and deal with the alcohol. Right, well, I'd like to know what's going on with my stomach first, if it is my liver or my kidney, how bad it is. Is this just some flare-up? Is this something I'm going to have to live with? Is this permanent alcohol damage I've already done? I'd like to know where I stand. And yeah, so I didn't do it. And when we was in the car on the way back, I apologised to my wife. And I said, look, I'm really sorry, I just can't do it right now. They just overwhelmed me and bombarded with this. And I want to know what's wrong with my stomach. Why won't they? And then obviously she's trying to explain to me that they only see the alcohol as an immediate concern. So, yeah, I get that. So yeah, I didn't do it, but I did say that and then, if it happens again, I will do it. I will do the detox. So yeah, that's basically what happened.